Next, it is my pleasure to introduce His Worship Mayor Ted Lojko of the town of Gananoque. The mayor, the community services manager Doug Wark, and the marina coordinator Kim McQuaid are also great supporters promoting TIA involvement at the marina and on the waterfront. Over to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Peter. I'm not going to tell you how wonderful the Thousand Island Association is. I've got a different slant on my presentation. It's kind of to give you an overview of what's actually happening in Gananoque. And I do apologize for the fuzziness of my video. So let me give you some ideas of things that are actually happening in town. The Playhouse parking lot is right now, they're looking at removing the actual parking lot and turning that into a park. So in the future, when we have our breakfast down at the waterfront, you'll no longer be standing in a parking lot. Theoretically, you'll be standing in a park closer to the water, and they're rebuilding their docks, etc. And the Playhouse is also looking at expanding their facilities to increase the amount of their stage, their backstage, etc. So they've got a large plan to redo that whole area. We have a marina working group currently, and I believe Peter is on that working group, to look at what it is that the town will be doing as far as the building goes, the docks, how to make it a little more energy efficient, the whole thing, as well as how do we deal with the garbage that is continually coming both from the marina and from visitors to the area. We are redoing the whole waterfront, or the lower town, as far as repaving, trying to figure out how the boats can get into the water at the Lions dock, as well as we have a project to turn the town park, or the town the area in front of the town square into a town square, actually. So that'll actually be happening this year. The town of Gananoque also has a new police chief. We have a new fire chief, and we're undertaking several other projects in town. Right now, we have an environmental group that is actually undertaking to develop a plan as to how Gananoque could be a lot more energy efficient and more environmentally responsible. We're also looking at a seniors working group to look at how do we improve senior services for the area, like an activity center, etc. And as you know, the two condos are almost finished being built, the ones on the water kind of thing. And obviously the Gananoque boat line has kind of morphed into several different companies. They're now at city tours. So every week or every month, we keep changing the name, and hopefully this one will stick for a little longer than the last two renditions. The boat museum down by the water, they successfully managed to build a birch bark canoe. A birch bark canoe. We had a indigenous individual that actually built the canoe with birch bark from the area and sap from trees of some type. I'm not really sure. And that birch bark canoe is currently touring the Lake Ontario on the back of Theodore Hootie or something. There's a big boat from Nova Scotia that has been sold to Hamilton. And they're planning on building other boats in the area over the future. As far as the boat museum goes, they also operate what's called Voyager canoes, which are long canoes that visitors can actually get in the back of, and they tour the Thousand Islands, as well as the kayak center is operating, as well as they are now operating a formal water taxi service to the various islands as well. In town, last but not least, we've morphed from too many pizza places to now we have 4 or 5 ice cream places. There are 2 new places that are being established, both competing for gelato market. So we'll see how that goes. And obviously a lot of the patios are up and running, etc. It's at the point where it's going to be hard to find some stores in the downtown area that haven't been occupied or haven't been rented at this point. And last but not least, I mean, if you're interested in seeing what Gananoque is all about, log into Gananoque Jerusalem video, the final product. You'll see a lot of our community groups, all about 16 of them, including our fire department, including town staff, have all participated in the Jerusalem challenge in order to kind of say, hey, we're getting out of COVID, and it's time to kind of get out there and celebrate, et cetera, et cetera. So there is that kind of community spirit happening. And part of it is that the community has been working very hard to ensure, not only obviously in Gananoque, but also in the township, to ensure that everybody get vaccinated, that everybody basically is practicing social distancing, masking, whatever else, et cetera. And the last report that I heard, that this area here is #1 in the province as far as public health areas that have had the first level of vaccination, and we're really catching up to some of the other areas as far as the second level as well. So it is a very safe area, and as Karina mentioned, the number of tourists and the number of visitors has kind of spiked over the last couple of weeks since we opened the casino, since the boat lines have been operating, since the restaurants have been open on the inside as well. So it is moving in that direction, and we welcome all our American friends to come visit sooner than later, even though there are some obstacles to actually get across the border. So thank you for the time, and I do apologize for the fuzziness of my my video. Okay, thank you, Peter.
Thank you, Ted, for your positive message.